What is good, you guys? It's Lifestyle from lifestyledidit.com, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can manipulate FL keys and make a really dope beat with it. Let's get into it. Alright, so I'm going to let you guys hear the entire beat first. Alright, so everything from the guitar sounding thing to the chords to even the bass line is all from FL keys. I'm going to break it down and show you how I did that. So the first thing we have to do to really show how we manipulated everything is actually just get literally a pure, fresh instance of FL keys open. So this is what FL keys sounds like by default. Right? So let me just show you a few things that we have going on. So this is actually the keys in this beat. And I'm going to show you all the effects we did to get those. Then the next thing we have are these plucks. FL keys as well. And then we have a guitar that I called guitar, but I kind of manipulated the Rhodes section of FL keys, and I'll show you how I did this. So I made it kind of more like a clean guitar. And then I have this bass line. That one's probably the one I'm most proud of. So if I go in here and show you, you'll see this is FL keys, FL keys, FL keys, and FL keys, right? And then the drums are sectioned off. I'll just go ahead and play those for you. So the ride is actually a drum kit in contact, and that sounds like this. And then we bring everything else in. So here's how that ride sounds. Right, then we have a hi-hat, loop, kick, and 2 snares, and let's just bring those in and see how this sounds together. So these two, this is actually from this section of the drum set too. I just bounced it out so I can have it by itself, and then I layered it with this snare, and it gave us a cool tone. So let's go over what we did to the first set of keys. So if we go back over here, this is what we have for the first set of the chords, right? So this is what I played, and then if I open FL keys up, you'll see it's a bit different from the normal version of FL keys. So actually let me go over here and open up a stock instance of it so you can compare. So the right side is my version and then the left side is normal. So you see we messed with a few things like spread of the stereo field, the release. What else did we change? The stretch, the treble was changed just a tiny bit, and we really messed with a lot of the velocities, and then I completely took detune off because I didn't want detune for this. So now when we go into the mixer, you see I threw a big reverb on it, and then I gave it a little bit of EQ, took out a bit of the top end, a little bit of the mids, and a lot of the low end so that bass can kind of fill it out. And then this is what we have. So this is before, after. Because I wanted this to be real distant and kind of dreamy. So the next thing we have is these plucks. So this is how it looks in FL keys if you want to go ahead and copy that out. And then I have it routed to its own section in the mixer. I'll go ahead and play these for you real quick. So EQ, taking out a lot of its low end, a bit of the high end. It's actually the same EQ preset as the keys over here. And then I gave it a big reverb as well. And then I threw a delay on it on a quarter note so it can kind of bounce around and then spread it out a tiny bit. And together, these will sound like this. Just an accent in the back. So now a really cool one. What we did on this guitar is what I called it. Let me go over to this section over here. In the FL keys, you'll see that I used a Rhodes. These are the settings that I adjusted for the Rhodes. And if I go ahead and take all of the effects off, this is what it sounds like. So it's really loud. Let me put the effects on now. And what we have on the effects is guitar rig, an EQ, reverb, and parametric EQ again. And let me show you what it sounds like now. It's a lot of reverb on its own, but in the track it sounds good. So in Guitar Rig, this is the rig that I have pulled up. It was a preset called Hot Tip. I found really cool, adjusted a few things. Then I went into an EQ. I cut out a lot of the lows and a lot of the highs, and then I threw a reverb on it that's pretty big. Made sure the wet was all the way up and the dry was kind of down. I wanted this tucked in the back. And then I EQ'd out some of the low end and mid-range again. And then when you blend it, when it's by itself, it doesn't sound too good, but when you blend them all together, that's really when that huge reverb and darkness of this guitar is perfect, because it's meant to just fill out and not stand out in this beat. See how it just fills it out without it? With it. So it's really just meant as an accent. And then the next thing that we're going to get into is how we created this cool little bass line. So if I go over here and play this by itself, it sounds like a bass. So what I did for this was I opened FL Keys and I got the Rhodes. Now, when you have a Rhodes open by stock, let me show you what happens. And if we go down a few octaves, it's wobbling and it's going to be pushed over to the left side. So what I did is take detune off and I took the panning off. Go ahead and reset panning, and then you can take stereo down. Now it becomes a mono source and it doesn't jump as much as it did, right? It's just nice and it's straight down the middle. So let's go back over here to our bass. This is how I had it set, and I made sure detune was off again because I wanted it just the straight tone. In bass, in the mixer, I made it mono, and then I threw a EQ on it. I took out everything below like 26 hertz, and then I took out a little bit around 200 because it was smashing in with the rest of the keys and the guitar. And then I put decapitator on it, chose P for my style, and then pushed in the drive, and now we get this for the bass. And let's go ahead and play it with the drums. Sounds really good, right? And if I were to just show you what it sounded like by itself, let's go over here, put FL Keys, let's get the Rhodes, and I'm just gonna copy this over here, mute this, and I'll let you hear what this would have sounded like. Right? So what I'm going to do is actually put these back to the standard FL Keys and show you before and after of what this beat would have sounded like if everything was just at its default Rhodes setting or the default piano setting. And then I'm going to switch it over to the one that I created, how I just showed you. I broke everything down and made it sound different and then created the beat with that. And I think that could be a really cool way to show you what you could do when you manipulate a certain VST or a certain sound, what you can do with it. And you can really make your free plugins or your stock plugin sound really good with some manipulation and some cool ideas. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, leave a thumbs up. You can follow me on all social medias at Lifestyle Did It. Make sure to hit my site, lifestyledidit.com, for everything else. Other than that, subscribe to your boy, push notifications. Thanks.